Zmari. Hey guys, welcome to Zmari Talks. I am your host, Zmari, and it is such an honor to be here with you guys. Y'all don't know how long this thing has been coming, and it is finally here. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share with you guys. I can't wait for y'all to meet my friends. I can't wait for y'all to watch Zmari Talks unfold and let us discuss life, relationships, love, God, and everything that makes us tick in life. My aim in this podcast is really just to share my life, share my experiences, share my conversations, things that I talk to my friends about, things that I'm questioning about, and just asking, and seeking insight and perspective on how to become better and how to grow and how to evolve in this thing called life. We all want to progress. We all want to move forward. We all want to excel in some way or the other. But I want that we do this while we're being completely authentic, completely ourselves, completely not shying away or hiding ourselves. I want us to be bold and unapologetic. So the theme of this podcast is going to be what? Grow, glow, and be brilliant. Let's go. Now, we're in 2024, but I have to admit, my year actually started in November 2023. Here's why. My birthday is in November 8th to be exact. And the thing about my birthday is that every time it comes along, I find myself making a bunch of changes and analyzing my life and looking at things as in, okay, is this working? Is this not working? You're coming on to your next year of your life. How have you progressed in this year? What have you accomplished in this year? What have you done? And it's not about ticking off the major or big milestones. It's really just for me about making sure that I'm not in the same place that I was last year, that I was intentional about my growth and my progress, that I was intentional and I showed up differently. Like I didn't do the same things. I'm not insane, repeating the same types of behaviors and stuff. And what did I grow or learn in this new year? And as I was approaching this birthday, I felt myself feeling this deficit. So I was looking back at my year and looking at, okay, I accomplished actually some major things in my life. I made some huge milestones, and I learned some things deeply about myself that I did not know before. Some struggles, some issues that I had within myself, and it was like major epiphanies or major growing curves. And I was so grateful for that, because if I had not gone through certain negative experiences, I would not have learned a side of myself that I did not know before. And if I had not gone through certain positive experiences, I would not have known what I was capable of, And as I looked back, I said, okay, great. I felt this huge deficit though, where I was like, okay, you did all of these things, but I feel as though I didn't intentionally spend time with people. It just felt like that. Even though it was not really true, when I look back at my year, I just felt as though I could give a little bit more in this area. I want to love more. I want to be more compassionate. I want to be more considerate. I want to spend time with people and let people know in a tangible way, in a physical way, that I love them and that I appreciate them. So November came along and I planned every weekend to have a date with someone. So I had individual one-on-one dates with my friends and just persons that I considered. And I booked up my entire month where I was like, okay, I'm going to spend time with you. I'm going to spend time with you. I'm going to spend time with you. And it was amazing. It was incredible because I just get to talk to that person. I just get to spend time with that person and to love on that person and just get to do what they like or what they enjoy. It wasn't all about me and what I liked, but just like, hey, where would you like to go? And finding things that, people enjoy. That was amazing for me. And as I did that, I recognized that in my new year, how I wanted to approach this year, which is probably why this podcast is coming out now. But it really made me very conscious about the impact that I leave in people's lives, or being more intentional about showing that and revealing that, because you can do those things in your own personal journey and it's not shown or whatever, but the persons in your life know that you're making this impact on them. But for me, it's like I wanted to do this on a larger scale. I wanted to do this in a bigger way, in a grand way. And I just started to shift my perspective and push myself into this zone where it's like, you know what? I'm going to level this thing up. I'm going to level this personal interaction that I have with people up. I'm going to level the way I express love up. I'm going to level up on how I show compassion, or just being more expressive and being more bold, and not being ashamed or afraid of being bold in the way I love people this year. And it has really set the tone for how this year is going to go for me. But the thing about making a decision like that is that I had to come into confrontation with courage. And in December, I was really looking at this. As I said, my year started in November, but December, I started to actually record this podcast. And the videos are still there, edited and everything, and I would never post them because I'm doing them all over again. But I just started to play on this topic called courage, and recognizing how much we need courage in life, how much we need to be bold and unapologetic, and how we need to be just unafraid to be brilliant and unafraid to grow and to learn and to show your journey, or to express yourself and not hide yourself. As I started to dig into courage and what courage looked like, I recognized that the only way I feel bold or I feel courage in my life is when I'm not relying on myself. When I can see my own humanity, when I can see my own weaknesses, when I can see that I am not perfect or I'm not anybody really, but there's a God who's bigger than me. There's a world that's bigger than me. And there's room for me to grow. There's enough space for me to grow. There's enough space for me to just exist in my full self. It is our aim. It should be our aim to be unapologetic about who we are in life. And that takes courage. It takes courage. It takes courage to pursue the dreams that you have in your mind and in your heart. Because it's all you. It's all a part of what you are bringing out. It's all a part of your creativity. It's all a part of the way you think and the solutions that you find for life. It's all a part of you. It takes courage to show that to the world. It takes courage to step out on faith. It takes courage to renew our mind and say, you know what, I'm going to risk it all and just be in front of a camera and do stuff that I've never done before. It's fine. It takes courage to not think about yourself so much. You know, listen, I can fail through life, because as I'm failing through life, I'm going to succeed at something. I'm going to find something that works, and that's the aim. Aim is to find something that works, and that is within us. It comes with a complete acceptance from us. And I want to go to scripture a little bit and talk about courage when it comes to wisdom. Because courage is not just, oh, I'm going to just jump out there and step out on faith. Doing what? How are we going to step out of faith? How are we going to do this thing? How are we going to make these strides? You know? And there's wisdom that is required when it comes to courage. And I want to take us back into the book of wisdom, which is Proverbs. And this book is found, of course, in the Bible. And I want us to really look at where wisdom begins. Where wisdom begins. And the reason why I want us to look at where wisdom begins is because if we're going to be courageous this year, if we're going to step out on faith this year, we're going to have to step out on faith using wisdom, being strategic, not just risking ourselves and risking our lives and putting our families in danger or just doing any and everything. But we want to be wise in our steps. I had to pull out the laptop, guys. I just had to. So let's go. So Proverbs 1, it says, these are the wise sayings of Solomon, David's son, Israel's king, written down so we'll know how to live well and right, to understand what life means and where it's going. A manual for living, for learning what's right and just and fair. To teach the inexperienced the ropes and to give young people a grasp on reality. There's something here also for seasoned men and women. Still a thing or two for the experienced to learn. Fresh wisdom to probe and penetrate the rhymes and reasons of wise men and women. Start with God. The first step to learning is bowing down to God. Only fools thumb their noses at such wisdom and learning. Now here's the thing about courage. The thing about courage is that when you decide to be courageous about something, it's usually something that you're not familiar with. It is usually something that we're not learned in, that we don't have experience in. So the reason why we have to look past the fear and the anxiety that we're feeling is because we're not skilled here. We don't know this territory. It's unfamiliar. So when we say, okay, since this is unfamiliar, I still need to make wise steps as I'm going forward. When we look at this book, what I love about this book is that it says, start with God. That the beginning of learning comes with bowing our lives down to God. If I have a manufacturer, if I exist in a world that this manufacturer has created, and he created me, and he placed me in this world, and he told me to have dominion and to take authority and charge over this world. The first question that I'm going to ask is how? How? You created this thing. You made me and you put me in this thing. How do you expect me? Or how am I supposed to have dominion and authority? And that's why I love the scripture that says, start with him. The first steps to learning and to growing and to gathering wisdom in life is to bow your lives down to God, to surrender and say, how do you want me to do this? How do you want me to live? How am I supposed to exist? How am I supposed to move forward in this unfamiliar territory that I'm supposed to have authority in and dominion in? How? I'm going to need your help here. You know what I like about the beginning context of the scripture? It says, this book is designed to teach the inexperienced the ropes. Well, I fall into that category in so many areas of my life because there are so many things that I'm inexperienced in. So if this book is designed to teach the inexperienced the ropes, and the first thing that it says is start with God, that, hey, I'm going to trust this thing. I'm going to trust this thing because I have been inexperienced many times in my life, many, many times. But I know that if I start with bowing my life down to God, that there's a sense of identity that I would find. There's a sense of authority that I would find. Because God is my manufacturer and he knows exactly how I can win. He knows exactly how I can excel. He knows exactly how I can succeed and have authority. I want to go to the end of this chapter and then I want to go to one more verse that can help us to just unlock some things in us. And the end of this chapter, it could come off a bit strong, but if we really get what it's saying, we would really value the wisdom that it has in it. And it says, for they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of God, they would not listen to my counsel, they despised my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way. They will be filled by their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of the fool shall destroy them. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell in safety, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And you know what I like about this? Is that it's telling us the consequences of not bowing our lives down to God. It's telling us the consequences of not heeding this instruction or heeding God's counsel in our steps forward. As I said, this is unfamiliar territory. There's a lot of things I don't know here. If it's one thing that I want when I'm moving forward, it's counsel. Wise counsel as well. Because I don't want to fall prey or fall victim to my own bad judgments. And you know, we can make bad judgments. We can make decisions just out of anxiety, out of fear, out of so many things that we think we know, but we don't know. You know? And I want to be wise. I want to be wise as I'm moving forward. I want to be wise as I'm taking these steps. I don't want to be making a ton of mistakes or bouncing my head constantly. I want to be wise. I want to be in safety, and I want to be away from evil. I don't want to be fearing in my journey. I'm scared to do everything. And my heart is coming out of my chest because I'm scared of everything. No. I want to have a sense of peace when I'm moving forward. I want to have joy when I'm moving forward. I want to have curiosity when I'm moving forward because I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm trying new things. I don't want to be anxious when I'm moving forward. And the reason why we can trust this counsel, the reason why we should bow our lives down to God is because of this particular scripture. And it says, and it's God quoting the scriptures, he says, for I know the plans that I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Now I want you to think about that. Our parents think that they have plans. Our friends think that they have plans. Everybody always think that they have the best plan for us. And sometimes when we follow everybody's plan, we make a bunch of missteps. But the good thing about, as I said, having a manufacturer who knows this world and who knows us is that when he says he has plans for us, plans to prosper us and not to harm us, it means that we can walk through this life with ease. That there's a chance that we can walk through this life with ease. Now, it's not saying that the world would not have its troubles, because the Bible does say that the world will have trouble. But we can have a sense of peace. We can have a hope because that's what he provides. He provides a hope and a future. He wants to prosper us. We must live an abundant life. We must live a prosperous life. And I really want to urge us and encourage us to be bold enough, to be courageous enough, to make just this first step of bowing our lives down to God and trusting that his plan, his way, his purpose, and everything that he sees for us are the best decisions that we can ever make in our life. Listen, I love Ali, you know. I love Ali, bad. And I really want us to excel this year. I really want us to thrive this year. But we're not going to be able to thrive properly and successfully if we don't have God with us. if we don't be wise about our steps forward. So this is my encouragement to you all this week. How are you going to take courageous steps this year? What's your first step going to look like? And I want you all to submit it to God. Submit whatever your dreams and your ambitions are. Submit it to Him. Plan it for Him. Say, God, this is what I'm thinking. But whatever your will and your way is for me this year, I surrender my life to you. I surrender my life to you. I have so many dreams and goals. I have so many ambitions. I have so many things that I want to accomplish in life. But I'm also submitted to say, even if it doesn't happen the way I want it, I know I'm going to live a more fruitful and prosperous life because I'm submitting my life to the creator of life itself. So guys, I love you all. This is my encouragement for you all. I can't wait to get back to you guys next week as we continue this conversation on courage and moving forward this year. Having an awesome, fantastic, successful, and prosperous year. I love all you. Bye.